Hey, I'm Kev, welcome back to MotoGP 17 as we're halfway through our first full season in our managerial career, as Dan MacDonald has been racking up the points once again last time in Assen. Well, Patrick MacDonald, well, the least said about his weekend, the better. But now we are going to the Sachsenring, which has been a nice circuit to us in the past. Will it prove to be like that once again? So here we are in Germany. On a track, as I said, it's been kind to us in the past, and I'm hoping it will be again on our Peugeot, as we are approaching our qualifying. Now, let's talk for that around this very unusual circuit, very undulating as well. It is, you know, one of my favourites on the calendar. I say that for like half the circuits on the calendar, though. So here we go, across the line, and one of the most difficult braking points of the whole calendar, that first corner. Downhill in second gear, so hard to hit the apex. And this first sector is all about hitting the apex and just being patient with the throttle. Has you've got this long right-hander, keep hitting second gear, now nail the throttle. Then up the hill, flat out through this kink, but you're immediately down to second for the next left-hander. And now things speed up after that first sector. You've got this left-hander, keep it in third, accelerate away up into fourth and fifth. And a very tricky left-hander, braking just before that shadow on the bridge. Keep it in third, I'd probably take that in fourth actually, okay, much more speed in. Over the rise. So dangerous on the MotoGP and more powerful bikes, but on the 23 bike it's easy enough. And then don't do that into the left-hand kink. Maybe let off a bit, but flat out through the right-hand kick, down the hill. Now the final couple of corners as we're in top gear. Break it down to third. It feels like this corner's always trying to push you away from the apex, but if you get in early enough, you will hit it. In the final corner, you can see a bit of a bump in that trap. Brake just before that. You can brake very late as well into that corner in second gear. Now up the hill, across the line, 31.2. 2 seconds off the pace. I think I'll take that. As let's see what has meant we've ended up on the grid. As Mir once again grabs pole with 28.8 just ahead of his championship rival Kenneth. Martin making an all-Spanish front row, Finati in fourth. McPhee with a good qualifying in fifth, ahead of Di Gian Antonio, and then it's an all-Italian third row. Take a drink, we're doing it. Drinking game, it has returned after a couple rounds away. Antonelli, Otel and Rodrigo on the fourth row. We're on the back of the seventh row in 21st. Once again, 3/10 of a second behind Kornfeld, who's the top Peugeot runner in 17th. And we got a Mahindra in front of us, Della Porta in 19th, with Suzuki in between us on the third row. And of course, the other MacDonald is last, just behind the Finnish teenager, and as you can see, he's 4 seconds off the pace. But let's see if we can do much better in the race and once again grab a couple of points. As there we are waiting for the race to begin. It is a long one round here in the Sachsenring. It's a short lap though, so it's 8 laps long. As you look at the grid, there's the Italian third row, there's the fourth row. Let's look at the fifth row, didn't talk about that. Nuadin, Loy and Guevara. You see Danilo in 16th, there's Blue Steel in 21st. Just ahead of Ramirez. We've got Bone Herrera to get on the 9th row once again. And right at the back is Magnum. As we are preparing here, you can see the front row runners Mir, Canet, and there's Martin looking to get a good race going after falling back in Assen. Got some riders in front of us as we approach this very difficult first corner, one of the most difficult on the calendar, especially on this first lap. As he got a decent start though. Looks like we jumped our 7th row colleagues. As here we go, braking downhill. Will everyone survive? Oh, we just about survived on the brakes, and we're up into 17th. And there's Guerrero in front as we've got to go wide here. Someone's looking down our inside. And we go down there inside into the right hand and using all of that curve. Let's say we go past Guerrero on that curve and into the points, are we? Looking around the outside, then Nitto. Oh, the Frenchman pushing us wide. Then this will pass Guerrero. I think I said that last race, and it didn't turn out to be true, so I'll hold my breath for the time being. As here he goes. Down the inside into the fast left. Oh, there's no room there, but he's found some. So trying to switch back over the hill. Oh, just keeping hold of the bike there. On the brakes into the left-hander, out through the right. Doesn't it like we've got the straight line speed we want, as we're just ahead of Kornfeld in the battle of the Peugeots. And oh, Dinetto's hold out Guerrero there in front, and we sneak by to grab a point on his opening lap. I will take this. Of course we want more. We go up the hill. Looks like those final couple of corners are very kind to us. Look at this superb run going on to the start-finish straight. As we go on to the second lap, I've noticed they've moved the start-finish line timing as well of Milestone, just in accordance with real life. It's, oh, so easy to lose the front into that first corner as we're braking down here using all of the brakes. Keep hold that bike. It's all about the braking there, the first corner. We do just about hold on as we're behind the Malaysian rider who's got Loy in front. And you sneak ahead of him. That seems to be our corner. You sneak ahead of guys. Using all of that curb on the inside. Oh, using a bit of Loy to get past that left-hander back up into 13. And oh, having to let go of the power there through that left-hander. Got a better run than on the first lap. So ahead of Loy, we've got Antonetti in front. The Italian. Once again taking out third gear very slow. Too much brake there, as shown by Loy coming back at us. And that's much better through the left-hander over the crest. And now downhill, once again Loy on that Leopard. The class bike in the field. You should be taking a look at us. We go into the penultimate corner, and oh, he's pushing us right, Loy. Very aggressive from the Belgium as Dijan Antonio leads. Where does he come from? The Italian. Ahead of Canet. Nearest drop back on his open now, and Alfanati makes it Italian 1-2. What is going on at the front as Loy and Odin are battling behind? We're in the slipstream of Rodrigo, Forever and 12th. As we go across the line onto this third lap. Breaking slightly early into this first corner. But as you can see, making sure we're just hitting that apex. That's all we want to do in that first corner. Now we're going to try and line up the Argentine rider for a move as, what's that, Antonetti looking back? A bit unhappy at 11th there. And so are we. So we're going to help you, Antonio. There we go. Antonetti, should I say. That's Otto we push wide, and now we've got Rodrigo side by side. And the long left-hander, and here comes Otto. It's a German rider falling back from recent results, not in the top 10. And oh, that was a late manoeuvre, wasn't it? But we're up into 12. And as you can see, get it down to third, right on that right mark on the right-hand side. That's where we need to get the bike hooked up. Right, that's our furthest point across that crest. As we go into the penultimate corner, and oh, once again, we've seen someone held up in that penultimate corner. This time, Rodrigo up into the top 10 for the Argentine rider. Very good. As we go down the inside of Antonetti, we're down. The Italian is taking us down. Oh no! It's like looking like it's going to be such a good race. But Antonetti has taken us down. I thought it was down the inside there of the Italian. Obviously not. And oh, someone's trying to dive down our inside into this first corner. So we're back down to 26. Now we can only dream of points. So we definitely have some pace in this bike around here. There's had Arenas all over us. We've got Tuba in front from the last row of the grid. Very good race for the Japanese rider. As Venati and Dijan Antonio having a battle royale. A battle for Italy there for the podium places. So we're hanging it in third. Oh, now we've got to ride the second half of the race of our lives. Just like we did in Assen, just move forwards. We've been very consistent with our lap times. As I've definitely got that part of the circuit figured out now. I haven't got my gear changes figured out though. It's going to be revving it too long. So be careful of that. Down up to 6th gear, now down to 2nd, and look at that, 4 riders getting compromised by the lead rider, and I believe that was Ramirez, the Spaniard. As we go into the last corner, and oh, another superb run out of it. Going it down the inside here of the Italian teenager. As are we going to make it 3 wide? Oh, he is. Oh. As we get into the back of someone, no, we're down. Is that Ramirez? As we're down to last. Oh my god, what a race this has turned out to be. Absolutely shocking from MacDonald. I didn't even feel like I was going that hard into the back of him. That's merely nudging him. Now we definitely do have to ride the second of the race of our lives. So Bo is down here in 31st. Disappointing for the Dutchman. But MacDonald, the other MacDonald, seems to be having a decent race. But he's not last, so we're going to see where he is in the live time and scoring updates. Got Fanati and DJ Antonio. Still battling like a hell over 2nd. Let's say it's a battle for Italy there. So we go down the hill and Fanati takes the lead from Canet. Where is Mir in all of this? It'll be interesting to see where the championship leader is, as once again that championship lead might change hands at the end of this race. It really has been to and fro between the Spanish pair. There's all the Finnish teenager down to 31st. So now MacDonald is in the top 30. Great job. But I mean, as Canet regains the lead and now Fanati's dropped back. That leading trio is having a fantastic battle. The DJ Antonio takes the lead. It really is changing every corner. Look at it. All that ticker is of overtakes is just the top 3 at the moment. As Ramirez is up to 30th. I've got Bo in front. Shocking race for the KTM rider. Been a shocking season for him. So we go into the right-hander using that curb on the exit. We're making sure we got in the power early. Look at that, our tyres are crying for help. Oh, I could have kept it in 3rd and got in the power slightly earlier there. As we keep it in 3rd there, I had to brake slightly to make sure I don't go into the back of someone. Like I ever do that. But of course our aim is to get in the top 25, remember. And I feel like if we get one manoeuvre done, then it's going to be a few manoeuvres in a row. As you can see, it's still pretty much a straight line in front. For a bit, you can see there's a bit of a gap though in front of us, and that's our teammate. As he accidentally kept it in 5th, and once again compromised happening in penultimate corner. Fantastic battle in front. As we're going to assign the Finnish teenagers to last place, and there's our teammate right in front. We've got into the back of our teammate. What are you doing, Patrick? Get out of the way. And the McKid telling him he's going for 1st, I think. You can't quite see it, but I feel it. There we go, down the inside of our teammate. Oh, outbraked ourselves. We took down Bo. Oh no. MacDonald is on a rampage this race. He's been down twice. He's taken down a couple of riders now as well. And that's not going to help Bo at all. Terrible season. MacDonald just had into it. That's why we're getting compromised by a teammate. That's how the Finnish teenager back down our inside. Now he's pushing us wide. Thanks for that. As we're on the penultimate lap of the race, these laps go so quickly around here in the Sachsenring. As I said, a very short lap. But I think we can say goodbye to the top 25. We're going to say hello to the top 30 though. That's our aim. We've got 3 Peugeots here on the line, and oh no, we've hit our teammate, we're down. I get the feeling MacDonald's definitely going to be in concussion protocol after this race. Can't believe that we clashed with our teammate. Would you believe it? So we're definitely going to finish last in a race where we should be getting points. But it has been a terrible last 5 laps. You know, the old adage is to finish first you got to finish. Well, MacDonald has done everything not to finish this race, and once again, not really getting the hang of the collision system in this game, because, again, tapped my teammate, I felt like. That was enough for us to go flying for days. As I said, I hope the noggin's alright for MacDonald, that he can race in the next round. As corners like these will not help him, he's getting a bit lost there. Needs the GPS round that right-hander. After that smack, God. And that's one thing I hope they have in the game in the next engine is actual damage model, because as you've seen, we can continue, our bike's relatively okay, but in real life that would be a retirement on the spot. So kind of the sim side of me wants there to be, you know, damage and actually make incidents like that no pay for you. As Minardi takes the lead and the win, the Italian wins in Germany. About time he got a win this season, I believe that's his first of the year. Just ahead of Canet, the Di Antonio are up there as well, as once again when we're last, look at that, we're seconds off the pace. To go around the final corner. And a very, very disappointing race for MacDonald. Shake that head in shame, young man. Why are you shaking your head at me, viewers? I had nothing to do with it. But yeah, it was Finati that won, just ahead of Canet, Di Antonio. That top 3, what a battle it was, and what a win it is for the Italian. As Martin in 4th, Mir down in 5th. With the Italian 6th, we've got Bodega in 7th. We've got Bastianini 8th, Fee 9th, Lloyd with a top 10 just ahead of Antonelli. That's where we should have been finishing. We didn't have all those incidents. We've got Otto in 12th, Nuruddin 13th, Rodrigo 14th, Suzuki ground the final point just ahead of Guerrero by 0.8 of a second. Top Peugeot goes to Kornfeld. Top Mahindra goes to Italian teenager 22nd. And there we are, last of the Peugeots by a country mile. So in the championship, that means Canet leads by 3 points now. It really is shifting every race. Bodega 27 points back over a race for him back in third, with Martin up to 4th, over the Italian Finati up to 6th. Lots of moving shakers in the championship, as you can see. Di Antonio up into top 10 ahead of McPhee, and further down, Rodrigo goes ahead of MacDonald by a single point into 13th. As further down, we've got Herrera up to 27th ahead of Bo and the Thai rider. So in the constructors standings, this means Honda's lead by 37 points over KTM, with Peugeot 3rd, Mahindra in 4th. As we have lots another new rider, Japanese rider from 20 years ago in the 125cc. No doubt, as once again we did crash with Dan MacDonald after a promising start position and a promising first 3 laps, and then it just went all pear-shaped as at least Patrick MacDonald went forward in the race. As we do improve our braking, cornering and body position, while Patrick MacDonald improves his throttle management. And we lose some credits and our reputation stays the same. So after that dramatic race in Germany, we have a free weekend. We do need a recovery, I think, after that. And now we have an activity day. As you can do a TV ad, go to the Garda Evening, improve our reputation, improve our affinity by participating in a technical meeting, or agree with airline to reduce management costs for the next race. We have no management costs. I think I'm going to go with the airline, as technical meeting won't do much for either rider now, I don't feel. Garda Evening, improving our reputation would be nice, but that's what we're doing well enough to improve our sponsorship anyway, the sponsors we're attracting. TV ad gives us a nice injection of credits immediately, but I think the airline agreement reduces more credits than we would win or get with the TV ad, I think, if my maths is correct. So let's agree with the airline. So agreement with the airline is signed as we look at the calendar. And we are at the halfway mark of the season after the Sachsenring. Actually, let's look at the championship, shall we? As looking at the Moto3 championship. Yeah, we know what happened to Honda. But in the Riders' Championship, that is Moto2. Where do you get the... There we go, there's the Riders. So 14th in the stands with 14 points. And the battle with Rodrigo and Noureddin is Dan MacDonald. We're not going to get top 10 in the championship, I don't feel, unless you get an amazing run of results in the second half of the season. But that's our aim, to finish at least 13th in the championship, I think. Beating the Argentine and Malaysian riders. Well, for Patrick McDonald, just get some down points. That's looking in the Moto2 championship. Franco Morbidelli leads by 39 points over his teammate Alex Marquez, with Miguel Oliveira, just like in real life, hanging on in third on the KTM. You have Thomas Luthi, then you've got Nakagami 5th, Piscini 6th, Morini 7th, Quartararo in 8th, very good from the Frenchman. And then we got another, and then we've got the Tech 3 manufacturers in 9th with the Spanish rider, and Baldassari in 10th, Danny Kent in 12th. As you can see, 18 riders scored points, Brad Binder scoring the final point out of 32 riders. In constructor standards, Cadex lead by 83 points over KTM, with Tech 3 in third with 67 points, Suter in fourth with 45 points, Speed Up with just a single point to their name, and I think that's thanks to Simone Corsi, a bit different from real life. And in the top class, Valentino Rossi leads the championship with 27 points from Maverick Vinales and Marc Marquez, with Dovizioso 4th, Pedrosa 5th, Quattro 6th, Inoni 7th on the Suzuki, very good. Head of Lorenzo, Zarco, Volga, the Tech 3 twins, and Petrucci, Redding, Miller, Elisa Spargo on that Aprilia, Alex Rins on the Suzuki, Loris Baz, the last point scorer with 16 point scores. Baptiste hasn't scored a point on that Ducati. Ridiculous. As out the 23 riders, so only 7 riders haven't scored. Sam Lowe's, as you perhaps would expect, Cal Abraham as well, KTM as Apollo Spargo and Bradley Smith, but Hector Barber thought have points. Same with Full Brat as well. In constructor standings, it is Yamaha leading the way, looking ahead to their 14 World Constructors Championships as they lead by 41 points ahead of Honda, with Ducati 3rd, Suzuki 4th, Aprilia 5th, and the KTM yet to get off the mark. But it's just fantastic seeing 6 constructors in the main class. More than there is in Moto2, and more than there is in Moto3. See how it goes down as we go down the order to 5 for Moto2 and 4 for Moto3. But on this side, we've got interesting battles all over, with the main battle being in the Moto3 Championship. So shall we do some staff management? Shall we try and have someone in the pit lane team? Let's just go for the motor engineer once again. We need improvement there. As obtain the greatest power, most efficient power delivery for the rider. Always going to need that, I feel, with this Peugeot. So that is our management done. And as I said, next time we're going into the second half of the season to the Czech Republic circuit, the Autodromo Brno. Hopefully it'll be much better than our visit to Germany. So out for watching, and I will see you then.